Now that you have completed your little black dress project, you are probably asking yourself,
what else could I possibly do to my design?
so what is design reflection? To understand what design reflection is, let us look at what the process of reflection entails. This can be summarized by 3 key questions. What do you observe and feel?
I came to sewing this dress. I was a little bit nervous because it's the first thing I've sewn, but in working with Poplin I realized that I needed to do a pin hem for a full circle skirt, and it turned out being a 2.5 meter pin hem, which was very challenging, but I really feel that the dress I've sewn it's competent, and it became what I really wanted it to be, and the full effect was met. I think the challenges had to be in the pattern making, because when designing it, to transfer it from a technical drawing to a pattern is a very complicated and precise process, because a few centimeters here and there can really make the difference. I truly feel that the dress that I've designed mimics the technical drawing accurately, but I think in hindsight, being the perfect vision, I would have changed a lot of things, like details like where I put the fusible lining, where I chose to put my darts, how I chose to compress the waistband. I would have changed, but now, having learned so much from this reflective process, I realized that these are all details that can be added, but the overall view and the overall goal was achieved. Looking back at the dress in hindsight, I realized the things that really went wrong and I could have improved on. I pictured the dress being longer in length and reaching the knee, but I didn't accommodate for how long the roll of fabric would be, and I actually had to, just before cutting the fabric, I had to cut the pattern 5 centimeters shorter. Just on an impulse, just had to cut it shorter and just make do with what happened. So had I prepared more and asked more questions about, what the requirements were for the project, that really could have been avoided. There were details like zip length and hooks and eyes and fusible interlinings that all could have been avoided had I just planned a lot more. But I think having this been the first project that I'd ever ventured in on my own and sewn myself, it was really a trial and error process. And also, being in a controlled situation, you have to rely on yourself. There's no lecturer to ask you along the way, so there are a lot of challenges that just pop up here and there, and I truly believe that's part of the control project test, is that they're testing your intuition and your ability to take what the lecturers have taught you and adapt it and apply it. Makes the little black dress what it is. The color black, without which would just be another little dress. The color black stands for power, for authority, and it just commands attention when you wear it. I wanted to embody those ideals in my little black dress. So now I'm going to show you how I designed my ultimate little black dress. The sense of power associated with the color black led me to Alexander McQueen's Autumn-Winter 2008-2009 collection. The collection takes you on a journey from dark, humble beginnings to the grandeur of Elizabethan embellishment and royal authority. This compelled me to research more into Queen Elizabeth I's opulent gowns. The strong, exaggerated collars were fascinating from a construction point of view, and I wanted to translate the color from that period into a modern context using the Queen's dark sensibility. Queen Elizabeth I also represents a woman who is in a position of power, and this explores the idea of a woman being more powerful than a man. I wanted to take my design even further by finding another source of inspiration. I sourced images of the black widow spider and drew inspiration from its structured body, elongated legs, and dangerous nature. Did you know that the female spider sometimes eats the male after mating? Now that reiterates the idea of a strong female. I'm really happy with the ultimate LBD I've designed. Every detail is linked and it echoes a distinct period, designer and feel. I can now only dream of having the skill to construct a garment such as this one, and follow in the path of the construction genius that is Alexander McQueen.